The most important thing is stories. Stories that sell. Stories sell, facts tell. I was talking to a real estate agent. Some of you may know her from this story that I'm about to share. I was looking at her social media content and she was like, oh, I'm frustrated. Like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And we went into some of her hooks. Like, I mean, the first line or the first sentence or the first visual needs to grab attention. And if it doesn't, I mean, people have a 3-second attention span. They're going to click off. And what I share with her that she needs to sell herself as the personality. And we can't do that if we're just talking about listings and fun facts and mortgage rates. But like, you're singing karaoke on your stories and showing you driving your kids to school. Like, who's going to resonate with that? Maybe other moms, family people. And as I dug into her story, because one of the things that I do is I'll pull questions, 21 questions, just tell me about you. Why'd you start doing what you're doing? What do you do on your free time? How do you spend your vacations? What are your deep conversations with your friends? And what I learned about her is that outside of real estate, she also volunteers at a suicide hotline. Whoa. I've been impacted by losing a family member to suicide. So to hear that was like, you do that? Like, I've never actually met a human that does that. That's incredible that you volunteer your time to help literally save people's lives. Do you think that someone who's willing to spend her free time or get a phone call in the middle of the night to help someone in their darkest moments, do you think that someone like that is someone that would go the extra mile for someone that's trying to find or sell their dream home? Would you work with someone like that? I would. But from her social media content, I didn't know any of that. And she's like, well, how do I talk about that? Just talk about it. You don't have to share any like private details, of course, like, hey, this person was going to commit suicide because of this and I just saved her because of this. Like, no, you don't have to go all into that. But hey, fun fact about me that I haven't shared is, did you know that on the side, I actually volunteer at a suicide hotline? And the reason why is because I've been impacted by suicide and I know how precious life is. And something that someone said to me on a phone call the other day reminded me that I wanted to share this with you, that every day is precious. Like, it doesn't even have to have a call to action to real estate at all. But now people that see that are like, I really like this one, but respect levels just skyrocketed. In your content, we want people to be able to feel like sales. I think I'm going to get to this later, so we'll probably move forward, but sales is a transfer of belief. Sales is a transfer of energy. You know, when you listen to a beautiful piece of music and you're just like, oh, so moved by it. We want people to feel that in the content that they're consuming of yours too. A little exercise here. Let's pretend that you have 2 restaurants that you can choose from. One of them, the chef is like, I just got to get these burgers out on the table, a few more hours, and I can go home and watch Netflix. That's how people are when they treat their content like a chore. Then there's this other restaurant where the chef is like obsessed. His dishes are an absolute masterpiece. He even grows his own herbs because that's what makes the secret sauce that gets people lining up down the block, waiting for months to be able to get on a wait list to get a table. Which restaurant would you rather go to? Yeah. Which restaurant would you pay more for? Which restaurant would you wait on a wait list for months just to get a table? And then you'd probably tell your friends all about it because it wasn't just food, it was an experience. That's how we want people to feel with your content. So I think I shared some of this with you guys before, the ELSA framework. So the ELSA framework breaks down into epiphany, lesson, story, application. First step is the epiphany. How do I want people to feel? What objections do I want them to overcome? What action steps do I want them to feel motivated to take after consuming this content, whether it is an Instagram post or a Facebook or me standing in front of you guys today? What's the epiphany that we're going to reverse engineer? How do I want them to feel? And often that epiphany, we want to reverse engineer what are their current limitations? What are their current beliefs that we can help them to overcome? And as we said, stories sell, facts tell. People don't take action until they feel something. That's why we have to say it through a story. Because if we just gave the lesson, which yes, we are going to give them a lesson, maybe there's a 3-step thing or here's the action item to take from there, or here's the moral of the story. But the moral of the story, the lesson is woven into the moral of the story. If we just gave them 3 points and a CTA, it would be like the Charlie Brown teacher that's like, wah, wah, wah. It's not very entertaining. They don't feel anything through that. The story is where the magic happens. So the difference between just a post that's like, hey, we sold a new listing, thumbs up, versus my client Sarah came to me and she was so stressed because she's about to go through this divorce and she needed to be able to sell her home at a good price and be able to move on with her life. It meant so much to her. And because I've been in a similar situation as her, whether it's a divorce or not, knowing what it's like to restart, it meant so much to me to be able to help her with that. Not every agent is willing to go the extra mile, but what we did is we brought in some staging magic and we made some social media blasts, and I'm so thrilled that she got 5 offers that were above asking price. The best part was seeing Sarah's smile at the end of the day. See the difference between that? And you could go even more emotional than that. Like, you could share more of the story. It doesn't have to be necessarily Sarah. Some people are like, how do I share without talking about my client or confidentiality? Just don't say their name. You don't have to say that. But we want to wrap it up into the story. And then A is application. What are the next steps? What is the call to action? How do they take the next step to work with you, to download? Maybe you have a guide, they get on your email list, which you then continue to nurture them. Maybe they get on a call with you. Maybe you talk about an open house that they can come to. But it's really important that you have, oh, here's an example of someone from Compass that she implemented this, and the next day, same day, got 3 buyer leads from one post. Like, let's actually dissect this for a second. So she gives this story, which I'm not gonna read through all of it, but if you want to take a picture, I'll send the slides to you. Like, she gives a story, she shows her authority. And at the end of it, she gives them a call to action. Comment buyer if you want my free guide. And look, she had people that said buyer, which then she gets to follow up and nurture those people. And what's so important is that if you don't have the call to action, that's the equivalent of like dating, going on a date with someone you like and playing hard to get. You're like, I hope they call me back, right? I hope they know to go to my website and click the link and book a call with me. But they're getting inundated by so many other pieces of social media, and some that have better hooks and better calls to action. So that's why we need to get those reps in and increase that here and increase our skill here. So CTAs are like dating. Please do not be the ghost or ex-boyfriend that's like, well, see you later. Hope you know to call me. Not reliable, not Prince Charming. So I'm actually gonna give you guys a PDF here for you. I'm gonna send it to you guys after, so please don't worry about like taking pictures or screenshots or anything. I made this entire guide for you. It is 43 pages, but I'm gonna show you how this works so that you guys can go home and like utilize this after. But this will explain to you how to make these 2-step posts. And I also give you 3 examples. You'll see in the table of contents here, there is a fillable template on 18, fillable template on 30, and fillable template on 41. I opened up one so far just to give you an example. We're gonna go through it together, just so that you know how you can create this by yourself with a little cool tool that I love called ChatGPT. So this is going to be one of the templates that you can use. And by the way, I know some of you guys are in Chief Content Officer. We give you more of these templates every single month, and I'm gonna show you how to use them. In the example here, we actually show you where this came from because we use proven videos. Like, these are already working and viral. This was a video from Jillian Michaels. This was her script that we just turned into a template. So all I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna copy and paste this, and you can totally fill in the blanks yourself if you wanna just use your own brain power, fill it in like Mad Libs. But you can also go to our friend ChatGPT here and say, please help me to fill in the blanks for this template. I want to make a post, home buyer who is looking for the right real estate agent. I want to be their first choice. And then all I do is I paste and then watch what it does and then give it a second. All right, let's see how it goes. Also, just like disclaimer, it's not always perfect the first time. Finding the perfect home is supposed to be simple. I'd say that's a pretty good hook, because for people that are like frustrated, they're like, yeah, I know, right? Okay, we want them to have some kind of an emotion to that. I can help you find the right home without the stress, confusion, and frustration that comes with it. Yes, please, that sounds great. Why is it so hard? Well, there's a variety of factors. Because the market is competitive. Someone who's in that position is like, yeah, that's so true. They understand me. Listings go fast. Yep, so true. And it's tough to know who to trust or where to begin. Yes, you check. For someone that's in this position, they're like, they're speaking my language, they understand my problem. And the best thing that happens is if you in your content can understand and explain their problem better than they can, they trust that you have the solution. Now the next part is to be good and have the solution. But there are ways to get through this. I can help you stop wasting time and energy on homes that aren't right for you and focus on the ones that match your needs perfectly. You just gotta know the simple steps to do it. Drop home in the comments to get my free home buying guide so you can do just that. Do you guys like that?
Love it.
Okay, now let's rewrite it to speak to real estate investors who are looking for the right opportunity to invest in, but are concerned about the rate of return. Finding the right real estate investment is supposed to be simple, and I can help you identify opportunities that provide a solid return on your investment without all the guesswork. Why is it so hard? There's a variety of factors. Because the market fluctuates, rates of return vary, and not every deal is as good as it seems on paper. But there are ways to get through this. I can help you stop worrying about uncertain returns and instead focus on investment properties that are primed for profitability. Just got to know the simple steps to do it. Drop invest in the comments to get my free real estate investment guide so you can confidently make your next move. Do we like it?
Wow.
Wow. Yay. All right, well, see you later. Our work is done.